2, Chapter 8 right around the corner, I figured I'd take the time and review and rank every single Piggy chapter in the game. Today I'll be ranking them by story, bot, and map. I'll also not be including chapters like Distorted Memory or Winter Holiday or Gertie's House, as these were just limited time chapters and I want to focus more on the main game chapters. So without further ado, why don't we just hop right in? Let's begin right in three, two, one. The map that started everything. If it wasn't for House, Piggy wouldn't be where it is today. You might think this is a good map, right? Well, in my opinion, I hate it. This map is just so boring now, I don't want to play it anymore. However, it at least has some verticality to it than other maps, like having some twists on where the items are and having Piggy catch you in the room you're running into. The story of this map was alright, as we get knocked out and when we escape we have to go to the station to get some help. Not the best story out there, but I'll let it pass since it was the first chapter anyway. The skin in the map is quite iconic, I'll give credit for that, but still quite basic compared to the others. Now the map itself, pretty decent. It's just the granny house with a few modifications, and it's fair to both the player and Piggy by letting the players have spots to hide and the Piggy to have places to catch players. However, I absolutely hate the long vent in the basement, as people can just camp in it and it's so annoying. Either way, 4 out of 10. So, without further ado, let's continue to chapter 2, the station. After the success of chapter 1, Minitoon gave us chapter 2, the station. I gotta say, this map I like. Not my favorite, but a good map. The story is not so good, as all we saw was we go into the station and have to escape to the garage. And the ending shows us talking with Doggy trying to figure out what's going on until we run out of gas that we brought for him. The bot is basic, as well as it was just a redesign of the OG Piggy skin, but the map is where things are great. Lots of verticality to it, like the jail room and the acid stream, which can be annoying sometimes since Piggy can walk across it and get you, or when you walk on the plank and the game glitches and you walk into the acid. But this doesn't bother me too much, and overall, a good map. 8 out of 10. So without further ado, why don't we move to chapter 3, the gallery. Well, Minitoon saw his fans would want more to play with this game. Thus, he gave us the gallery. Fun fact, everyone, gallery was actually just a show model IKEA's or his side developer made. When Minitoon finished Chapter 2 or the station, he needed help with this game. When IKEA's applied for the job, Minitoon asked her to build something. Thus, she built the gallery and was brought aboard. So when the time came for Chapter 3, Minitoon used the gallery for a map, but just scripted it to make it playable. Anyway, gallery is a map I honestly don't like. The story is just us escaping a gallery we trapped ourselves into, and in the end, we and Doggy talk about an arrest we made in the alley, and we look for a place to stay. The bot, once again, is just a redesign of the OG Piggy skin, and the map is just horrible. It's so small to where you can easily be trapped by Piggy and get caught, as well as all the items being scattered everywhere, which means you could escape before Piggy even comes. However, I don't qualify Gallery as the worst map as well. Despite it being bad, it's at least a bit better than some other maps that I'm going to review later in this video. Overall, 3 out of 10. So without further ado, let's move to chapter 4, the forest. After 3 chapters, Minitoon gave us the forest, the spark that would lead to Piggy's story. Forest is a rather interesting map. Lots to do in it, and we're not confined in a building like the other 3 maps. The story of Forest began with Doggy's death after drinking a potion and becoming infected. Let's be honest, we didn't care for him. And the ending was left on a cliffhanger with the walkie-talkie. Not bad. The bot in Forest is sheepy, and her design again is like the Piggy skins but with a sheep head. Plus, why is sheepy the bot of Forest? The bot should have been something like a moose or squirrel. Hello, sheep are farm animals. The map is really good, however, there are 2 problems. One of them is the lighting, which is very dark compared to the others, so it's hard to spot things far away, especially if you're playing hard mode where the whole screen is dark. And the map is so open with very little obstacles that it's hard to catch players in. However, I do like the concept of having a spooky forest for a map, like what you see in the movies. Has some verticality to it, like the torch and the tower, and this is a map I'd replay. 7.5 out of 10. So without further ado, let's get to chapter 5, the forest. The school, sorry. The start of a mystery in Piggy. From Mr. P to Bunny, school had a lot to offer. The story kicks off quite well as we get sent to a hospital and meet Mr. P and we meet Bunny. However, the story obviously wasn't as good as the others as well. It was chapter 5 anyways, but it still made us come back for more clues. The bot again is a redesign of the Piggy skins, but it was the teacher skin, a very basic skin. The map is good as we're introduced to the book and the gears return, only 2 times, and has a good design. A school is a nice idea for a map, but like Forest, school suffers the same problem of being very open, which makes it hard to catch players, and when Piggy is chasing you, desks can get in the way and you can get caught. However, it's still a good map, but not really something I'd replay as it's basically house and station put together but as a school. 8 out of 10. So let's move on to chapter 6, the hospital. From where we left off from chapter 5, we made it to the hospital. Hospital will introduce new mechanics like the key cards and potions and has a rather different gameplay than the other maps. The only keys we use in the map are for the yellow and purple saves and the rest are key cards and we don't use the wrench. The story was quite surprising as Mr. P betrays us and leaves us from his helicopter and we and Bunny resort to the metro for a trip to find Mr. P. The bot, I gotta say, was good enough as it looked like a doctor with the white coat, but maybe Minitoon should update Hospital to have Katie as the bot instead of Barry, as she really looks like a doctor or a surgeon, if you will. The map is where Hospital suffers. All the rooms are cramped with items and Piggy can just catch us easily. I guess Minitoon caught wind of the open map problem. Another issue is that the escape door, if Piggy follows you, you'll be caught easily as it's very small and narrow and Piggy will just spoof you. I feel Hospital is very underrated and not many people pick it, but don't enjoy it for what it is. I'll give it a 6. So let's move on to chapter 7, the Metro. Metro was a very good map as the new mechanics were featured to was the vending machine and the coins. This chapter is when Bunny dies and we leave her, which was quite sad. The story was good and kinda sad, though I didn't cry, as Bunny gets infected and we leave her. The bot in this map was good as well, since Song Piggy looked good and his soundtrack and Nox sounded good as well. This map is great, as well as there were many rooms to discover discover. However, the problem I have with the map is it's quite open like some others, and it's easy to dodge Piggy and if you unlock a door with only one exit and Piggy places a trap, you're dead. It's not a perfect map, but it's still great. 8.5 out of 10. Let's move to chapter 8, the Carnival. Carnival is the worst map, no doubt. It is so easy that it makes unlocking a door look like it takes 5,000 years to do. The story in the map is the only good thing that saves it from getting a 0 when we meet Zizzy and Pony, two important characters. The bot in the map was alright as it looked a bit better than the other skins, but this skin is one I definitely not use. The map now is horrible. It's so large and open to where it's so hard to catch players. Heck, when I play this map, sometimes I have to camp to catch players. All the items are scattered in random open places like benches and small buildings, and it's very easy to find them. Sure, Minitoon made it harder, but he only added a few food machines. The map is so easy that if I had a hack where I walked super fast, I could complete this in 30 seconds. The worst part is people always pick this map over and over, which makes it boring. I hate this map so much I just don't want to play it. 1.5 just for story and decent bot. Let's move to chapter 9, the city. The city, a majestic map. This is my favorite book 1 map. I love everything about this map from the dynamite to Ellie to the photo of Miss P to get the true ending in player plus bot. The story was quite nice as we learned about Zizzy and Pony. We learned Pony wanted to be an optometrist and Zizzy was a fencing coach and taught her little sisters. The bots in this map were good as we had Grandma who was just a redesign of the piggy skin but got saved by Ellie who has a nice design. The map is the good part. The city was rather small as all it had was two buildings, an alley, shop, and an O-shaped road. However, this doesn't bother me as we still got a unique map to play. The only problem with the city is the hallways in the hotel room to the rooms are so narrow. If Piggy's right there, you'll get caught. Unless you can get into a room fast and then shut the door to crawl into the vent. Great map. I love it. 9.5 out of 10. Let's how about we move to chapter 10, the mall. Mall was a very unique map as we got introduced to new mechanics like the mirror, the vent block in the vent, the arcade machine, and a piggy or mousey, if you will, in the vent to prevent vent campers. I also like how they replaced the hammer with the crowbar. Unique. The story was great as we meet George and we go to the safe place and see Zizzy's sisters, Giraffe, and Mimi, as well as Pony picking up a helicopter signal. The plot was good as Robbie's jump scare was good and scary, although it could be so loud at times, and his soundtrack was unique and it sounded mechanical as well. He is a robot anyways. The map, however, has some problems. It's quite open like other maps, so it can be hard to catch players at times, and people can still camp in the vents by staying on the ledge on the vents, so if the piggy or mousey can catch them. However, this can be solved by placing a black hole trap next to the camper and then going down back down to get them. Not the best map nor my favorite, but I don't mind playing this map. 7 out of 10. Outpost is a great map that I could replay over and over because it had great verticality to it, like the tank, the missile, and the soldiers coming out of the ground. The story is good as George comes with us and we find Mr. B, who turned into a cyborg. The plot was great as Torture is actually my favorite book 1 skin and fits perfectly with the map. The map is great as I loved all the buildings and places to hide. However, like the city and the hospital, Outpost had some tight spaces in the map where like when we get the gas or where we get the missile, which can be annoying. However, this is my second favorite book 1 map, so I'll give it an easy 9. Without further ado, why don't we move to the finale of chap book 1, aka the plant. The finale of Book One was what everyone was hoping for, and Plant delivered that to us. I love this map and I'd like to replay it over and over. The story was good as Mr. P thinks we're after him and proceeds to attack us by shooting fireballs at us, which I guess brought the whole Mr. P boss fight everyone was expecting. The bottom plant was good as I liked Badgie's lightsaber weapon and his unique design of half badger, half infected scientist. Mr. P's design was also great too, as he looked like Thanos if he was a gentleman cyborg who created a zombie apocalypse. I liked it a bit better than the old one, as there was more to it than just a cyborg potato with a shotgun hand and a hat. The map is great and what I expected from a Piggy map, and there was a lot of verticality to it, like the potions, the dynamite, and how when it blows up, you travel to other maps to complete plant. Very clever, Minitoon. It isn't my favorite design as it was still quite as open as some other maps, but to solve that, we get Mr. P shooting orbs and freezing the players for a couple seconds. Great map, 10 out of 10. Now that we're done book 1, let's do book 2. So let's get to it. Alley's may have been the start to Piggy Book 2, but nothing really was special about it, excluding the RBB event and the Tombstone traps. Alley's was just any old regular Piggy map, but we got new mechanics like the number code, screwdriver, broom, and scissors. The story was decent as we arrested Willow, then Zizzy, Pony, and us went to the store to get some batteries. The bot was decent, but Rash is a very underrated skin indeed. The map has some issues. It's so annoying running back and forth to get items we use, and it's very open, so it can be hard to catch players. Decent enough though, 6 out of 10. So let's start with chapter 2, the store. Ali's led us to chapter 2, the store. The store is decent and had a very small layout. The story was great as Mimi fixes the old radio and we go to the forest only for us to run into Willow and TSP or the Silver Paw. They kidnap Zizzy and take her away and Pony tells us how he joined TSP but left it. The bot I feel makes no sense in the store. It doesn't look like a storekeeper or worker and it just looks like a redesigned piggy skin. The map itself is a very small, so you can be caught by Piggy easily. The items are also scattered all over the place, which makes the map quite easy to escape. Since the story was great and the map was decent, I'm giving it a 5. Let's move to chapter 3, the Refinery. Map is extremely hard, literally. If you want to try Refinery by yourself with no one, good luck, cause this map is hard. The story was very sad, as this is the last of Zizzy as she gets infected and she and Pony hug one more time before her last goodbye. The bot is also pretty good too, as Tigray looks pretty detailed for a bot skin. The map, however, things are extremely hard. This map is very large, yet it's so hard because you have all these guards everywhere, which is annoying, so it means extra piggies chasing you. All the items are far away from each other, so that wastes time in the area where you use the screwdriver. If you don't have the other door unlocked, Piggy will oof you instantly. 3 out of 10. Nothing higher or lower. It's only fun as Piggy seeing the player suffer. The problem with TSP is that, much like Refinery, it's very large but so hard. The story I feel is useless, as all that happens is Willow tells us exactly what she was going to tell us at the Refinery, and we get sent to jail. The plot of the map is pretty dumb. Why is there a mechanical rat in the safe place going to kill us? What's his origin? However, I do like his head and drills, and his jump scare is quite scary. The map suffers the exact same consequences as Refinery, all these floors and items going up and down, up and down. I honestly don't like this map. I'm only giving it a 1 for the unique head and drills and jump scare for Rays. So let's move to chapter 5, the sewers. 2. Everything about sewers was great and had some great fatality, like the gears to drain the water, they're back. The graffiti, the classroom, and giving Zizzy's sisters a broom to get the white key. The story was great as we learned Willow shot Giraffe and us going to fight her, as well as Tigery showing us mercy on us by not throwing his knives on us. The bot was great as I found Alpha scary and he's the first bot to be a reptile. I myself like reptiles, my favorite being the Komodo dragon, and think his design is unique and scary. I even like how he searches for you in the map and places traps as well. It's much better than the old bots that all they did was chase you. Very challenging. Alphas is a skin I'd use as my main skin. The map I think is perfect in what a good map looks like. Not too big nor too small, just perfect size. I like the hallways, the plank room, the graffiti, and everything is great. I even like sewers better than plant. 10 out of 10 was the midway finale for Book 2. Good enough for what it was. The story in this map was good as Willow admits defeat and chooses to go with us to find a cure after feeling sorry for taking Zizzy from her sisters. Being the midway finale, I knew Willow would get defeated, and I gotta say, she was the better villain than Mr. P since she did more like shooting Giraffe, putting us in jail, taking Zizzy, etc. The bot was decent as I liked Coley's design since after all he was a factory worker and really looked like one. However, in the beginning I don't know why he comes out of the sewer if he's a factory worker, but Piggy isn't a smart game, so the map is quite interesting in layout and we got 3 endings to it. I also found that the map is actually fairly simple to escape. Just unlock anything with keys, give the 3 swords to Pony and escape, which was quite surprising as I thought this map would be hard. The only issue is the map is quite open, but it's solved with Willow shooting us, and sometimes Coley or Willow comes out of nowhere and kills us. 8 out of 10 factory. Let's move to chapter 7. Is Port. Port is an interesting map as it's a mix between city and house. You have 2 if not 3 main buildings, 3 alleyways, a small dock, and benches with a safe in the back. The story was decent as we meet a new character named Captain Budgie who tells us we need spare fuel in the ship by going down and getting it, which Willow, Pony, and I go down to get. Decent story. The bot was cool as Dakota looked like a creature from the Black Lagoon, get it? As I love the aquatic design for him. The map is great as well as there's plenty of places to hide and run from Piggy and catch players. However, the only problem is Dakota's hitbox. It's so big that even if you run right next to him, he can still catch you, which can be annoying sometimes. Another thing I noticed is just like with Factory, this map is particularly easy as you just need the zip line and green key unlocked, get the batteries in the lighthouse, then escape to the boat. For the latest chapter, 8 out of 10. That's it for me, guys. If you'd like to see more videos like this, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Later.